What's good? What's good? What's good? We are on StreamYard, and we're going to talk about John D. Rockefeller. And yes, we are going to open up the link if anybody want to come through. Probably afterwards, because I ain't gonna be here too long. Because the videos are maybe like 20 minutes, and after the video, I got a 3 minute video, so y'all can understand what's really going on, or the mind frame of the motherfucker that got this shit on lock. So shout out to everybody coming through. Let's get off into it. Let's get off into this shit. This is the HHN special report. And we back again. Who is it? Philip Hurricane, Hood News, Hood News. In the house again. Said the pack of men, ladies and oh fuck. We back again. Who is it? Oh, my phone ain't fucking up. We in the house again. We going back again, back again, going back again, back again. You going back again. For the very first time, the word we get for right checks, right rhymes. We back to HHN special report. And I already know my notifications ain't going out. So I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. Oh damn, salty cracker is on. A whole bunch of people just popped up. All right, all right. We got a lot of people live right now. Oh shit. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Brownsburg live. I think Comic Brandon live. Salty Cracker is live. My nigga Ambulance Reviews live. Oh shit. I ain't seen my nigga Jay Takashi in a minute. He popping up at 8. That's what's up. It's the anime talk. Big anime stream part 1. I gotta pop up over there if he's still live after what I'm doing over here. But that's what's up. Well, shout out to everybody. I think oh shit. Donut is live. All right, all right. It's the right time to be on. Because we're about to talk about some real shit. And everybody that's live right now, talk about some real shit. So look, I be telling people to look up John D. Rockefeller's secret company. Shout out to everybody. This man's Hurricane. Tell you what he do. Hurricane, Hood News, Hood Reviews, and HHN Special Report, Special Stories today. And the special story we're going to talk about is John D. Rockefeller, because most people don't even understand the gravity of the situation when it comes to this guy. No one does. No one understands that this motherfucker is the pioneer of what the fuck we going through right now. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So I guess I gotta bring it to people's attention. Hurricane be thy name. Fuck the government. Okay? Hurricane be thy name. Fuck the government. Bam! It's midnight. She might be sleeping. 654. It's 4 o'clock. Over there. Get my bad. I'm just getting everything set up right now. But shout out to everybody. And everybody's gonna watch this on the playback. Let's get this motherfucking shit over with. About to talk about John D. Rockefeller, and people do not understand the gravity of the power that he had control of and the shit that's going on to this day. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller. But goddamn, I wish I could play some music, but I can't. Because it'll sound so horrible on this motherfucking StreamYard. So this is all dialogue, all commentary. And if anybody want me to drop the link, I'll drop the link. If anybody got any words, as a matter of fact, let's get this shit popping right now. I'm gonna just throw the link in the motherfucking chat right motherfucking now and just say fuck it. You about to listen to some shit? If anybody got some feedback, let's get it. Nah. All right, got that set up. Where's this shit at right here? Everything should be Gucci, right? Is we set up perfectly? What the fuck?
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
All right, sounds good. All right, everybody get off into it. About John D. Rockefeller. When I say motherfucker read John D. Rockefeller's Secret Covenant, read it. It'll shit that he done to motherfucker put shit in place. Why did my shit cut off like that? My shit just went to a black fucking screen. Don't know what the fuck that's about. That's some bullshit. I move this motherfucking chair up. What the fuck was that about? God damn it. Here we go. John D. Rockefeller's Secret Motherfucking Covenant. Let's get it. I mean, like, this ain't the Secret Covenant. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller. Then we're going to get over to the Secret Covenant because like they really want to overlook it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you about to hear a motherfucking 20-minute story of how the shit go, but like, I'm about to give you the Secret Covenant afterwards so you can understand the mind frame that he was in when he was doing all the shit that you about to hear. So, let's get off into it.
By 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91%. In 1870, a 31-year-old man in Cleveland, Ohio, controlled 4% of America's oil refining capacity. By 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production, 85% of final sales, and had created the template for every monopoly that exists today. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and the system he built, the corporate structures he invented, the monopolistic tactics he perfected, they didn't die when Standard Oil was broken up in 1911. They evolved, they spread, and they control your life right now in 2025. The gasoline you pump, the drugs you buy, the tech platforms you use, the food you eat, the banks you borrow from, every single one uses the Rockefeller playbook. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, regulatory capture, tax-exempt foundations that shape policy, and market dominance so complete that competition becomes impossible. Rockefeller didn't just build an oil empire, he built the architecture of modern corporate control. You cannot escape it, because the system isn't Standard Oil. The system is the method. And that method has been replicated by every dominant corporation for 150 years. Amazon uses it, Google uses it, Pfizer uses it, JP Morgan uses it. They all learn from the same blueprint, the Rockefeller blueprint. Control the supply chain vertically, eliminate competitors horizontally, capture the regulators, use philanthropy to buy legitimacy. And when the government finally breaks you up, make sure the pieces you control are worth more than the whole. Let me show you exactly how Rockefeller built the system, how he used it to become the richest man in history, how Standard Oil's breakup actually...
Woo! What's up, Marcy T? Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Much love, much love. On live, goddamn. What up, though, Marcy? Goddamn, like it ain't one thing, it's another, man. But like, shouts out to everybody, man. I'm like, if it ain't the YouTube live, they hit me up on StreamYard. Ain't that a bitch? God damn it. But we talking about John D. Rockefeller, like we just made it in. What up, though? What up, though? You already know we about to talk about John D. Rockefeller. I said I was gonna come back. I said I was coming back, bro. You know, and I'm glad everybody. I mean, well, like, at least everybody get their notifications, hopefully. But like, I guess there's other important shit on, but like, they ain't talking no real shit like me. That's all I can say. Anybody talking no real shit like me? But like, shouts out to the people that is on there saying some real shit. You know, like, shouts out to Bronzeberg, Bronzeberg, the building. As a matter of fact, if it was for Bronzeberg, I would have never knew about Bearded. You know what I'm saying? So like, shouts out to Bronzeberg that he live right now. Yep, this time by. Cause you're doing your verses or your albums and talking. Okay, that's what's up. So you on your vortex manipulation shit, man, nigga. Like I didn't even get that notification. I would have stopped over there first. Before I went live. Cause I went
In
over there.
1870, a 31-year-old man in
Oh
Cleveland.
shit. Cause I went to Comic Brandon channel before I went live and shit. But man, goddamn. Doing the versus battle. Yep. That's what's up. Hope that versus battle be nice. We gotta share it. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jordan channel. He's on some vortex manipulating shit right now. What time is it? 8, 19, 11, 12. 7:47 here. So it's like midnight over there. Not there. She probably sleep. And Crystal probably watching Salty Fucking Cracker. That motherfucker live right now. Hilarious. But at the end of the fucking day, we got to talk about John D. Rockefeller. Shouts out to everybody in your respective time zones. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. And everybody's going to watch this show on the playback. Ain't going to be here too long. But I got the chat open if anybody want to talk about this John D. Rockefeller guy. Otherwise, we're just going to play the Secret Covenant, and we're going to get up out of here. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller.
In 1870, a 31-year-old man in Cleveland, Ohio, controlled 4% of America's oil refining capacity. By 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production, 85% of final sales, and had created the template for every monopoly that exists today. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and the system he built, the corporate structures he invented, the monopolistic tactics he perfected, they didn't die when Standard Oil was broken up in 1911. They evolved, they spread, and they control your life right now in 2025. The gasoline you pump, the drugs you buy, the tech platforms you use, the food you eat, the banks you borrow from, every single one uses the Rockefeller playbook. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation.
Everyone used the Rockefeller playbook. Everyone used the Rockefeller playbook. Shouts out to Live and Learn. Shout out to Marcy T. Jordan Acker Frequency.
Regulatory capture, tax-exempt foundations that shape policy.
Man, you gotta hear that again.
In 1870, a 31-year-old man in Cleveland, Ohio, controlled 4% of America's oil refining capacity. By 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production, 85% of final sales, and had created the template for every monopoly that exists today. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and the system he built, the corporate structures he invented, the monopolistic tactics he perfected, they didn't die when Standard Oil was broken up in 1911. They evolved, they spread, and they control your life right now in 2025. The gasoline you pump, the drugs you buy, the tech platforms you use, the food you eat, the banks you borrow from, every single one uses the Rockefeller playbook. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, regulatory capture, tax-exempt foundations that shape policy, and market dominance so complete that competition becomes impossible. Rockefeller didn't just build an oil empire, he built the architecture of modern corporate control. You cannot escape it, because the system isn't Standard Oil. The system is the method. And that method has been replicated by every dominant corporation for 150 years. Amazon uses it, Google uses it, Pfizer uses it, JP Morgan uses it. They all learn from the same blueprint, the Rockefeller blueprint. Control the supply chain vertically, eliminate competitors horizontally, capture the regulators, use philanthropy to buy legitimacy. And when the government finally breaks you up, make sure the pieces you control are worth more than the whole. Let me show you exactly how Rockefeller built the system, how he used it to become the richest man in history. Standard Oil's breakup actually made him richer, and why 114 years after that breakup, you still live in the world Rockefeller designed. Because understanding the system isn't academic, it's survival. The system is designed to extract wealth from you and concentrate it at the top. And once you see how it works, you'll see it everywhere. John Davison Rockefeller was born July 8, 1839 in Richford, New York. His father was a con man who sold fake cancer cures. His mother was a devout Baptist.
Father was a con man that sold fake cancer cures. John D. Rockefeller's father was a con man that sold fake cancer cures. Mother was a devout Baptist. Jesus fucking Christ. Now you already know shit starts from the home. This motherfucker was out there eradicating people with fake cancer cures. He was a fucking snake oil salesman. Shit wild, son.
This combination, the con man's ruthlessness and the Baptist's moral certainty, would define Rockefeller's entire approach to business. He would destroy competitors without mercy while believing God had chosen him to organize industry for the betterment of mankind. This wasn't.
He said, so that God had made him chosen for the betterment of mankind, but you poisoning people. You crushing competitors, like giving nobody a fair shake. I'm chosen to change the world.
Hypocrisy. This was genuine conviction that his monopoly was moral because it brought order to chaos and efficiency to waste. In 1859, oil was discovered in Titusville, Pennsylvania. The oil rush began. Thousands of prospectors flooded into western Pennsylvania to drill. Fortunes were made and lost overnight. It was chaos, boom and bust. Overproduction collapsed prices, then shortages spiked them. Rockefeller, who was 20 years old and working as a bookkeeper in Cleveland, saw opportunity, but not in drilling. Drilling was volatile, risky, dependent on luck. Rockefeller saw opportunity in refining, turning crude oil into kerosene for lamps. That was the real business. In 1863, Rockefeller invested $4,000 in his first oil refinery in Cleveland. Within 2 years, it was the largest refinery in Cleveland. But Cleveland had 30 refineries. The competition was fierce. Margins were thin. Most refineries operated at the edge of bankruptcy. This is where Rockefeller's genius emerged. He didn't try to compete on price. He tried to eliminate competition entirely. And he did it through a method that would become the foundation of corporate America. Vertical integration. Vertical integration means controlling every stage of production. Most refineries just refined oil. They bought crude from drillers, refined it, and sold kerosene to distributors. They controlled one step. Rockefeller decided to control all the steps. He bought the barrel making factories, so he didn't have to buy barrels. He bought tank cars and railroads to ship his own oil. He bought his own warehouses for storage. He bought the distribution networks to sell directly to consumers. Every step that used to be a separate business generating profit for someone else, Rockefeller brought in-house. This gave him massive cost advantages. While competitors paid 25 cents per barrel from barrel makers, Rockefeller made his own for 15 cents. While competitors paid railroads to ship oil, Rockefeller owned the tank cars, negotiated secret rebates. The railroads paid him to ship his oil and charged competitors more. This wasn't just efficient, this was predatory. Rockefeller could sell kerosene at prices that put competitors out of business while still making profit. And that's exactly what he did. By 1870, Rockefeller created Standard Oil Company of Ohio. His refinery capacity had grown from one small plant to the largest refining operation in the world. But he still only controlled 4% of American refining. That wasn't enough. So Rockefeller launched the second phase of his strategy, horizontal integration. If vertical integration is controlling the entire supply chain, horizontal integration is buying or destroying every competitor. In 1872, Rockefeller initiated what historians call the Cleveland Massacre. Over 3 months, Rockefeller approached every refinery owner in Cleveland. He offered to buy their refineries. If they agreed, he paid fair market value and often hired them as managers. If they refused, he launched the price war. Rockefeller would drop the price of kerosene below cost. His competitors, who couldn't produce as cheaply, lost money on every sale. They had two choices: sell to Rockefeller or go bankrupt. Most sold. A few fought. They all lost.
Nigga, Rockefeller was devious, nigga. Rockefeller was monster. Monster.
By the end of 1872, Rockefeller controlled 25 of Cleveland's 26 refineries. He went from 4% to 25% of American refining capacity in 3 months. This was the blueprint: offer to buy. If they refuse, destroy them economically. And buy the ruins. This method would be used in every industry by every monopoly for the next 150 years. But Rockefeller wasn't satisfied with Cleveland. He wanted the entire country.
He wasn't satisfied with Cleveland. He wanted the entire fucking country. Just when this motherfucker get ballistic.
1870s, Rockefeller expanded Standard Oil across America. He bought refineries in New York, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. He used the same tactics everywhere. Secret railroad rebates that made his shipping costs lower than competitors. Vertical integration that made his production costs the lowest. And ruthless price wars that destroyed anyone who refused to sell. By 1879, Standard Oil controlled 90% of America's refining capacity. 90%, that's not a business, that's a monopoly. But here's where Rockefeller's true genius emerged. He understood that monopolies face two problems.
This motherfucker said where his true genius emerged. Remember that. Where his true genius emerged. Really? What the fuck he done was fucking evil. But we're looking at it with a corporate lens, right? We're looking at it from a corporate perspective. But at the end of this, I want you to listen to the Secret Covenant. Because what you're going to hear after this history lesson, you're going to motherfucking hear where his mind was during this. Right now, it sounds like he's a genius that motherfucker took over and beat out the competition. But nah. And plus, I know whenever I talk about John D. Rockefeller, everybody gonna run and fucking scatter. I might have 1 or 2 people in here. Let me look at my motherfucking shit, because I'm looking away right now. Oh yeah, 1 person. Yep, kind of figured. Kind of figured that. No, now I just jumped to 3. Ain't that something? But at the end of the fucking day, I already know what it is. When you talk about the motherfucking real enemy, dog, they don't really want the motherfucker put this shit out there. They don't want you to know.
They're illegal. The German Antitrust Act was passed in 1890 specifically to break up monopolies like Standard Oil. Second, they're hated. The public despised Rockefeller. He was called a robber baron, a ruthless tyrant, the most hated man.
Yep, the most hated man in America. Niggas hated that nigga. But did anybody start a revolution against that shit? No. You should have blew that nigga motherfucking head off in Times Square.
America. Rockefeller needed a solution to both problems, and he found it: the trust. In 1882, Rockefeller's lawyers created the Standard Oil Trust. Here's how it worked. Standard Oil of Ohio couldn't legally own companies in other states, but a trust could. Rockefeller created a trust that held the stock of all Standard Oil companies. 41 shareholders, all Rockefeller and his close associates, controlled the trust. The trust controlled the companies. This was the first major corporate trust in American history, and it became the model for every trust that followed. Sugar Trust, Tobacco Trust, Steel Trust. All copied Rockefeller's structure. The trust allowed Rockefeller to control a nationwide monopoly while technically complying with state laws. But more importantly, it created a new legal entity. The trust wasn't a company, it was a holding company. It didn't produce anything, it just owned other companies. The structure would evolve into the modern corporation, the parent company that owns subsidiaries: Berkshire Hathaway, Alphabet, Meta, Amazon. Yep. They're all descendants of Rockefeller's trust. By 1904, Standard Oil controlled 91% of oil refining in America and 85% of final sales. Rockefeller was the richest man in the world. His net worth was $900 million. That's $25 billion in today's money. But that's just paper wealth. At his peak in 1913, Rockefeller was worth $400 billion, inflation-adjusted dollars. Richer than Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates combined, the richest individual in modern history. And he built that wealth through the system: vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, legal structures that concentrated control. This was the system. But the public was turning against monopolies. In 1890, Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, making monopolies illegal. In 1906, investigative journalist Ida Tarbell published The History of the Standard Oil Company, exposing Rockefeller's tactics: secret railroad rebates, predatory pricing, crushing competitors. The outcry was enormous. In 1911, the Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered it broken up into 34 separate companies. This should have been the end, the destruction of the system. But it wasn't. It was the beginning of the system's evolution, because when Standard Oil was broken up, Rockefeller still owned shares in all 34 companies. Standard Oil of New Jersey became Exxon. Standard Oil of New York became Mobil.
Dang.
Standard Oil of California became Chevron.
Woo.
Standard Oil of Indiana became Amoco. Standard Oil of Ohio became SoHio, later bought by BP. The breakup didn't destroy Rockefeller's wealth, it multiplied it. Before the breakup...
You got... What up? No, let's talk with JBJ. Yeah, man, we in the building. We talking about John D. Rockefeller. He just said, nigga, they just went through a name change. We got to go back. It's like, yo.
He was called a robber baron, a ruthless tyrant, the most hated man in America.
Rockefeller needed a solution to both problems. Man, what's good?
He found it: the trust. In 1882, Rockefeller's lawyers created the Standard Oil Trust. Here's how it worked. Standard Oil of Ohio couldn't legally own companies in other states, but a trust could.
Yeah. See, even though John D. Rockefeller was on that bullshit, the government was like, nigga, what? Look, you may be a rich motherfucker, but nigga, keep that shit in fucking Cleveland, son. You ain't about to take our shit. But John D. Rockefeller already had motherfucker. Oh my fucking God, this nigga Johnny Rockefeller was devious. This is why this motherfucker said, nigga, he was genius. No, this shit was evil. People hated him just as much as I hate this government.
Rockefeller created a trust that held the stock of all Standard Oil companies. 41 shareholders, all Rockefeller and his close associates, controlled the trust. The trust controlled the companies. This was the first major corporate trust in America.
Yeah. Created a trust, and the trust controlled the companies. Now, why the stupid ass government didn't see what the fuck he was doing? I'm like, it was very obvious that those motherfuckers connected to John D. Rockefeller. No one want to follow the paperwork and put their pieces together. Nigga, they should have been like, all right, John D. Rockefeller, we see what you're doing. Lock that motherfucker up. Fuck, a trust. But nah, y'all niggas needed that Rockefeller money too. They was like, fuck, man, we gotta let this motherfucker do it. What he get? Fuck it, let's let him do it. Fuck it. We do it live. Fuck it. This nigga.
And it became the model for every trust that followed. Sugar trust, tobacco trust, steel trust.
Sugar trust, tobacco trust, steel trust. Man, dog, we have this shit right now to this day.
All copied Rockefeller's structure. The trust allowed Rockefeller to control a nationwide monopoly while technically complying with state laws. But
doing some shit while technically complying. It's crazy how motherfuckers have laws in place that niggas can still get around it. But yeah, we just say fuck the law, right? And they just, I mean, like we motherfuckers just a regular citizen, right? We just saying fuck the law. It's like arrest him for saying fuck the law. Nigga, but y'all the ones that made me say fuck the law. Property is 9/10 of the law. What the fuck does that mean? That means I don't really fully own my shit. The fuck is eminent domain, right? They can just come and take my shit, right? And I built this house on this goddamn land. Me and my father did with our bare goddamn hands. Y'all telling me eminent domain. Get the fuck out my... Get the 2-2 rifle. You're gonna have to kill me.
Importantly, it created a new legal entity. The trust wasn't a company. It was a holding company. It didn't produce anything. It just owned other companies. The structure would evolve into the modern corporation, the parent company that owns subsidiaries. Berkshire Hathaway.
Become parent companies that own subsidiaries. You about to give the example now.
Alphabet, Meta, Amazon. They're all descendants of Rockefeller's trust. By 1904, Standard Oil controlled 91% of oil refining in America and 85% of final sales. Rockefeller was the richest man in the world. His net worth was $900 million. That's $25 billion in today's money. But that's just paper wealth. At his peak in 1913, Rockefeller was worth $400 billion, inflation-adjusted dollars. Richer than Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates combined, the richest individual in modern history. And he built that wealth through the system. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, legal structures that concentrated control. This was the system. But the public was turning against monopolies. In 1890, Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, making monopolies illegal. In 1906, investigative journalist Ida Tarbell published The History of the Standard Oil Company, exposing Rockefeller's tactics, secret railroad rebates, predatory pricing, crushing competitors. The outcry was enormous. In 1911,
shout out to the motherfucker that had the motherfucking cojones to step up to Rockefeller and expose that motherfucker. I'm glad there was some motherfucking, you like independent journalists that dodging headshots to get some info and expose this motherfucker, man. But like, they didn't really give a fuck then. They don't give a fuck. Nah, they doing this shit in your motherfucking face, nigga. Oh, you want to make a law to go against my shit? Guess what? I already got people in place with money in place and some deals in place so I can still get money. Like, dog, this motherfucker control, man, bro. How diabolical it is when it comes to the corporate world. Now, most people know more about the corporate world than I do. And the business side, the corporations, and what consolidation, vertical, what the fuck that nigga say? Vertical or horizontal something. But he controlled both of the shits. That's all I gotta say. I forgot the name of it. Look, I'm high. I've been smoking all goddamn day. And a little tipsy a little bit. Like RIP to my uncle, you know what I'm saying? I had to pull up for him.
The Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered it broken up into 34 separate companies. This should have been the end, the destruction of the system. But it wasn't. It was the beginning of the system's evolution, because when Standard Oil was broken up, Rockefeller still owned shares in all 34 companies.
Yeah. So just in case anything go down, nigga, I got shares in this, that, and this. Yeah, nigga, nothing gonna happen to me. I'm good. Salute Relentless. What's good, bro? We're talking about John D. Rockefeller and how he ran all the corporations and put a whole bunch of shit in place for what we got now. Salute Relentless.
Standard Oil of New Jersey became Exxon. Standard Oil of New York became Mobil.
Exxon in Jersey, Mobil in the other state. What else?
Oil of California became Chevron.
And Chevron in California.
Indiana became Amoco.
Moco. I remember all these bitches growing up.
Ohio became Sohio, later bought by BP. The breakup didn't destroy Rockefeller's wealth, it multiplied it. Before the breakup, Standard Oil stock was worth about $600 per share. After the breakup, the combined value of all 34 companies was worth over $2,000 per share. Rockefeller's wealth tripled. Why? Because the breakup forced each company to compete, which drove innovation and efficiency. And because breaking one monopoly into 34 companies that still dominated their regional markets wasn't really breaking up the monopoly, it was just reorganizing it.
Yep.
Today, most of those 34 companies have merged back together. Exxon and Mobil merged in 1999. Chevron bought Standard Oil of Kentucky and Gulf Oil. BP bought Amoco and Sohio. Yep. The Standard Oil monopoly that was broken up in 1911 has essentially reconsolidated into Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and BP. The system broke itself up to avoid regulation, then quietly put itself back together over 100.
Broke themselves up to avoid regulation, then quietly got back together. See, these evil motherfuckers play the long game. Yo, nigga, let's break up for about like 5 to 10 years and we come back together and everybody knows everybody, you know why everybody brainwashed by politics and entertainment. Let's hurry up, get back together and reconsolidate. Diabolical. And still, money goes back to Rockefeller. Crazy work. Crazy fucking work.
But Standard Oil isn't even Rockefeller's most enduring legacy. The real legacy is the system itself. The methods, the structures, the playbook. Let me show you how it's being used right now. Amazon uses vertical integration exactly like Rockefeller. Amazon started as an online bookstore. Now it controls the entire...
Yeah, Amazon started as an online bookstore. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Amazon was an online bookstore. Yeah, I remember that.
Supply chain. It owns the warehouses, the logistics network, the delivery trucks, the payment processing, the cloud infrastructure that hosts its competitors' websites. Amazon Web Services, AWS, generates $90 billion in annual revenue. That's more than Amazon's retail profit. Rockefeller controlled refineries, railroads, and distribution. Amazon controls retail, logistics, and cloud computing. Same playbook, different century. Amazon also uses horizontal consolidation. It buys competitors, Whole Foods, Zappos, Twitch, Ring, MGM Studios, over 100.
That it buys competitors. It buys competitors. They wilding with it.
Acquisitions. When it can't buy a competitor, it copies their products and undercuts their prices using data from its own marketplace. Third-party sellers report their sales data to Amazon. Amazon analyzes that data, identifies successful products, creates Amazon Basics versions, and promotes them above the original. This is the modern version of Rockefeller's price war, legal, barely regulated, and devastatingly effective. Google uses the trust structure. Alphabet is a holding company that owns Google, YouTube, Waymo, DeepMind, Verily, and dozens of other subsidiaries. It's the Standard Oil Trust, one parent company controlling multiple operating companies. The structure shields the parent from liability, allows tax optimization across jurisdictions, and makes regulatory...
Wow, you just heard that. So now you can look at BlackRock, Vanguard, Blackstone, Black Bear, Palantir, Tesla, and find out what all the shit they bought. Because everything goes back to BlackRock, Vanguard, Blackstone, Black Bear, Palantir. Come on. The Rockefeller blueprint right before our eyes. Same shit, different pile of cards. Or a different pile of shitheads. In this shit show we call life.
Complicated because each subsidiary is technically separate. Pharmaceutical companies use Rockefeller's regulatory capture strategy. Rockefeller didn't just compete in markets. He shaped the rules. He lobbied for real.
He didn't compete in the markets. He shaped the fucking rules. For example, the CDC changed the definition of the word vaccine in mid-pandemic, people. In mid-pandemic, the word vaccine was changed right before our fucking eyes to get motherfuckers brainwashing to taking that lethal injection just to come out and say from AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and motherfucking Pfizer, has been killing millions of fucking people. And the mask and the 6-foot distance shit didn't work. But why the sheeple still wearing the mask? Why are they still believing that this shit is fucking real? When they came out and said that, sorry, we're killing y'all, but like they didn't say sorry though. They said, yeah, dog, it's killing people. And like, what's the use of having a hearing talking to these guys if y'all not gonna hang their ass for crimes against humanity? It just like it really just boggles my mind. This is why I'm gonna make a comic book called The Adventures of Ron Paul. He's gonna go after Dr. Fauci because he grilled Dr. Fauci. Y'all remember Ron Paul versus Dr. Fauci? Dr. Fauci is a free man right now. In my comic book, Ron Paul said, fuck politics. I'm about to go murk this nigga. And then he rose up to see me. And I armed that nigga with a shitload of guns. This nigga click up with Bernie Sanders and Candace Owens. I'm about to make one of the funniest comic books that's gonna go viral, nigga. Yo, The Adventures of Ron Paul, bro. That's gonna be the name of the book. That's gonna be the name of the comic. I'm drawing all that shit. He gonna quit his whole fucking political job and go after Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci gonna have a dog-ass island, heavily guarded, military Blackstone style. Like, nigga, what's the name of that military group? What's the name of that motherfucking paramilitary group? I don't know. Shit, whatever military group he got, man. But like, nigga, they armed. Dude. It's like, yo, Dr. Fauci is the bad guy in this whole motherfucking shit. You know, like at least for the first season. Because the second season, you got to go to China. Because, those are niggas that made the virus. You got to take out Fauci first. Second season, second arc, nigga, we going to China. Nigga, Ron Paul. Big Trouble in Little China, nigga. It's going to be cold, nigga. Nigga, wait till the second arc come, man. Nigga, like, that's going to be the arc. But the Ron Paul versus Dr. Fauci is going to be like a shoot 'em up, bang, bang. China arc is gonna be Ron Paul whooping niggas' asses, martial arts style, and a couple gun fu action. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make that shit hype. But that shit gonna be crazy. Black Rock, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Black Rock. That's Larry Fink. Who's Blackstone? Who owned Blackstone? And plus I just found out about Black Bear maybe like no less than a week ago. And they fuck with the sports. Or like the hockey and shit. Like they make it so you gotta fuck with them and they raise the price of using the ice and shit. Grimy shit. And they buying up all the ice skating rinks. They call it Black Bear. Shouts out to Crystal for putting me up on that. Because now I got another name to put on the motherfucker list. But back to the John D. Rockefeller and what he was doing.
Regulations that favored Standard Oil. He worked with politicians to set standards for kerosene that his refineries could meet, but competitors couldn't.
Worked with politicians. Not work with politicians. You paid their ass off to turn a blind eye to your shit that you was doing, Mr. Rockefeller, sir. You ain't working with politicians. You paying their asses off. Nigga, that's what it is. Because you the richest man in the goddamn world. Yes, so nigga, you got money to blow.
Today, pharmaceutical companies do the same. They fund the FDA through user fees. They lobby for patent extensions. They write the regulations they're supposedly regulated by. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, they learned from Rockefeller. Control the regulators and you control the market. The financial sector uses holding company structures. JP Morgan Chase is a holding company that owns Chase Bank, JP Morgan Investment Bank, and numerous subsidiaries. Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, all holding companies. When Dodd-Frank tried to regulate banks after 2008, the holding company structure made it nearly impossible. Which entity do you regulate, the parent or the subsidiaries? Rockefeller solved this problem in 1882. Banks copied the solution 100 years later. And then there's philanthropy, Rockefeller's final innovation.
Philanthropy, the final innovation. This is where it gets devious. This is where you really truly find out his mindset. Because out of all the shit you heard not once about his secret covenant. You heard not once. This is why after this history lesson, we got to talk about the mind frame that he was in when he was doing this shit that y'all just heard. Now, let's get off into it. Philanthropy. We got George Soros, philanthropist, Bill Gates, philanthropist, a whole bunch of other billionaire philanthropists. And what do they be doing? They be funding wars, genocide, trafficking, and putting laws in place to take away your freedom of speech and freedom of expression. That's what philanthropists do. They kill you.
1913, Rockefeller created the Rockefeller Foundation with an initial gift of $250 million, over $7 billion today. The foundation funded medical research, education, and public health on the
medical research, education, and public health. Yeah, medical, education, and public health.
This was charity. Rockefeller giving back.
This was charity. Rockefeller giving back. Really? Really? Wait till this history lesson is over.
Look deeper. The foundation allowed Rockefeller to avoid estate taxes. It gave him control over which universities received funding, which meant control over what was taught and researched. It bought him legitimacy. The man who destroyed
gave him control of what was taught and researched for all the schools out there, from college to high school to motherfucking elementary, middle school. Yeah, nigga, I'm controlling what you teach to these motherfuckers. And you wonder why America is so fucking dumb. And on the smart list, we ranked in the 30s or 40s when it comes to, I think, like math and a whole bunch of other shit. This is why we dumb as hell. Because John D. Rockefeller made the blueprint for us to be stupid. And for the ones that is, let's just say, going above and beyond the motherfucking bullshit miseducation and become, fully indoctrinated in the school system and everything they say is the truth, you're just going to become a well-paid slave once you're done with college. And you're going to be paying motherfucking student loans. As soon as you get your dream job, I'm talking about like whether you get your dream job or not. Student loans. What's the use of motherfucking having a dream job and you can't even enjoy it because you got a motherfucking pay off student loans? The fuck out of here. Let me know college is a goddamn scam. Why the fuck you gotta pay for education?
Thousands of competitors, was now a philanthropist. The most hated man in America became a beloved benefactor. The Rockefeller Foundation funded the creation of modern medical education. It funded Johns Hopkins, University of Chicago, Rockefeller University. It established the model for medical schools that emphasized pharmaceutical interventions over holistic care.
Pharmaceutical interventions, no. Pharmaceutical interventions, my ass.
This isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented history. The foundation shaped American medicine to favor the pharmaceutical model. And
shaped medicine to roll with the pharmaceutical model. Keep going.
Pharmaceutical companies, many descended from Standard Oil's chemical divisions, profited enormously. Today, every billionaire uses the Rockefeller playbook. Bill Gates founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, $75 million in assets. It funds.
That's crazy. That's a good question. It's a funny fucking question, but it's still a good question. Funny fucking question, but a fucking good question nonetheless. Right. Why is everything Black Rock, Black Stone, Black Bear? But I thought y'all hate black people. Only comic Brandon could come up with that type of fucking joke, bro. The way you, oh my fucking God. You're going to be the new George Carlin, bro. You're going to be the new George Carlin. When you word that joke properly and make that shit palatable for motherfuckers, it's going to be perfect because you got to build up to it. So, comic, you got this, bro. You're a legend. You're a walking legend right now.
Health initiatives, shapes WHO policy, and influences national governments. Mark Zuckerberg created the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Warren Buffett pledged most of his wealth to the Gates Foundation. These aren't just charity, they're tax avoidance, legacy building, and
it ain't just charity, it's tax avoidance.
Rockefeller invented the model. Modern billionaires perfected it. The Rockefeller family still exists, still influential. David Rockefeller, John D's grandson, died in 2017 at age 101.
Died in 2017. David Rockefeller. David motherfucking Rockefeller. And I think Aaron Russo was talking to him. And Aaron Russo said, what's the end goal to all this? Y'all rich, y'all powerful, y'all got everything. What the fuck is the end goal to all this bullshit that's going on? The motherfucker said flat out to get everybody chipped. To get everybody chipped. And for those people that probably think a motherfucker crazy, but mind you, this is a billionaire that have it all. But yet thinking about putting a chip in your body. Why? Full power and fucking control. You already got the world by the balls. Already got it on lock. What the fuck do y'all want? It gotta lead back to your mind or your soul. If you control your mind, you won't be able to look in through your soul to truly find yourself. And if you go beyond that, we'll just take your motherfucking soul through putting a chip in you. And it'll probably just do some shit that extracts and turn you into a full-fledged Joe. Who knows? But what they say they're gonna put inside the chips is all your information. So you start talking shit, they cut off your chip, you can't motherfucking eat, live, buy shit, or whatever. Full control. This shit is fucking wild. And that was Aaron Russo's last interview. He was talking to Alex Jones.
Chase Manhattan Bank, founder of the Trilateral Commission, one of the most powerful men in global finance for 50 years.
And you can look up the Trilateral Commission, the Council of Foreign Relations. I can look that up for sure.
His wealth, estimated at $11 billion, is spread across hundreds of trusts and foundations. The Rockefeller Brothers Fund, the Rockefeller Family Fund, the David Rockefeller Fund. They still shape policy, fund research, and influence politics 150 years after John D. started Standard Oil.
And influence politics decades after John D. Rockefeller made Standard Oil. These motherfuckers still are alive and popping. Influence, I mean.
Here's the most important part. The system isn't designed to be escaped. It's designed to be invisible until you're already trapped. You buy gasoline refined by ExxonMobil or Chevron, descendants of Standard Oil. You buy from Amazon, which uses Rockefeller's vertical integration and horizontal consolidation. You search on Google, structured as a trust like Standard Oil. You take pharmaceuticals developed through a medical system shaped by Rockefeller Foundation grants. You bank with institutions using Rockefeller's holding company structures. And your taxes fund regulations written by the industries being regulated just like Rockefeller designed. The system is self-perpetuating. It concentrates wealth. It eliminates competition. It captures regulators. And it uses philanthropy to buy legitimacy while avoiding taxes. This is the Rockefeller system. And it's not a conspiracy. It's just corporate.
To buy legitimacy. To buy legitimacy and avoiding taxes.
Legal, accepted, and replicated by every dominant company in every major industry. You cannot buy oil outside the descendants of Standard Oil. You cannot avoid Amazon's logistics network. You cannot opt out of pharmaceutical medicine shaped by Rockefeller grants. You cannot escape the banking system built on Rockefeller's holding company model. You live inside the system, and the system extracts wealth from you every single day and concentrates it at the top. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like hearing that and knowing that to be a fucking fact. It makes you want to burn this motherfucker shit down even more. It just makes you want to just burn this whole fucking shit down even fucking more. Like, god damn, they really got this shit on lock. Fuck it. I got a song called "Fuck the Corporation, Let's Burn It Down, Burn It Down. America's a corporation, let's burn it down. Time to burn it down. Man, for real, we need to burn this bitch to the fucking ground."
Rockefeller designed it to do in 1870. Here's what makes Rockefeller different from other robber barons. Carnegie built steel mills. When he died, U.S. Steel remained, but Carnegie's personal control ended. Vanderbilt built railroads. When he died, the railroads continued, but fragmented. J.P. Morgan built financial empires. When he died, his partners carried on, but his personal dominance faded. But Rockefeller built a system, and systems don't die with their creators. They evolve, they adapt, they spread. Standard Oil was broken up in 1911, but the vertical integration model spread to every industry. The trust structure became the holding company. The regulatory capture became lobbying. The philanthropy became foundations. Every piece of Rockefeller's system was copied, refined, and embedded into corporate law, tax code, and regulatory frameworks. Rockefeller died in 1937, but his system became stronger after his death because it wasn't dependent on him. It was structural. Let me show you the mechanism. How the system extracts wealth from you. You need gasoline, you have a choice. Exxon, Chevron, BP, Shell. All of them are price-coordinated oligopolies descended from Standard Oil or using his methods. You're not choosing. You're selecting between branches of the same tree. You need to buy products. You have a choice. Amazon, Walmart, Target. Amazon dominates through vertical integration. Walmart and Target must match its scale or die. Same system, different companies. You need internet search. Google has 92% market share. That's higher than Standard Oil's peak of 91%. But Google isn't considered a monopoly by regulators because it's free. You pay with data instead of money. Rockefeller would have loved this innovation. A monopoly so complete that users don't even realize they're paying. You need social media. Facebook has 3 billion users. Instagram, also Facebook. WhatsApp, also Facebook. You're not choosing platforms. You're choosing which meta property to use. Horizontal consolidation, exactly like Rockefeller. You need healthcare. You see a doctor trained in a system shaped by Rockefeller Foundation grants. You receive pharmaceuticals developed by companies using patents, regulations, and structures pioneered by Standard Oil's chemical divisions. You pay insurance companies using Rockefeller's corporate structures. Every step, extraction. Every choice, an illusion. The average American spends $4,000 per year on gasoline, $3,000 per year on Amazon, $5,000 per year on healthcare beyond insurance, including $200 per year on internet and technology services. That's $1,200 per year flowing to companies using Rockefeller's system. Over a lifetime, that's $660,000 of wealth transfer, not to innovative startups or small businesses, to monopolistic corporations using 150-year-old tactics to eliminate competition and extract maximum profit. And you cannot escape it. You could refuse to buy gasoline, but you need to work, which requires transportation. You could refuse to use Amazon, but competitive pricing and convenience make it nearly impossible to avoid. You could refuse Google, but what alternative has 92% market share? You could refuse Facebook. The social connection is controlled by Meta's platforms. You could refuse pharmaceutical medicine, but medical licensing, insurance coverage, and cultural acceptance are all shaped by the Rockefeller system. This is Rockefeller's ultimate achievement. Not that he became the richest man in history, that he built a system that makes escape impossible. A system where every path leads back to consolidated corporate control.
And that's why we gotta burn this motherfucking bitch to the fucking ground.
Where competition is crushed before it threatens the dominant players. Where regulators protect incumbents instead of consumers. Where philanthropy buys influence that perpetuates the system. This is the Rockefeller system, and you live in it whether you know it or not. But here's what Rockefeller understood that most people miss. The system isn't evil, it's efficient. Vertical integration reduces costs.
Now that right there made me want to shoot the guy that was talking. Like, it's not evil, it's efficient. Get the fuck out of here. Because the shit that I'm about to play after this history lesson, you're gonna be like, nigga, that's evil. Real shit. You about to hear some shit.
Horizontal consolidation eliminates wasteful competition. Regulatory capture provides stability. Foundations fund genuine research. The system works. It delivers products cheaper, faster, and more reliably than chaotic markets. Standard Oil made kerosene affordable for average Americans. Before Standard Oil, kerosene cost 58 cents per gallon. After Standard Oil's efficiencies, 8 cents per gallon, an 86% price reduction. That's not exploitation, that's efficiency. Amazon delivers products in 2 days. Google answers every question in seconds. ExxonMobil produces gasoline at scale. Pfizer develops life-saving drugs. The system delivers value.
Pfizer makes life-saving drugs. Really? Not according to the hearing that I just heard. Pfizer was at a hearing. AstraZeneca, Johnson, they shit killing people. And it killed millions. It raised autism and blood clots and shit. This is Pfizer we're talking about. Life-saving drugs, my ass.
The problem isn't that it doesn't work. The problem is that it concentrates wealth at the top while delivering efficiency at the bottom. You get cheap gasoline, fast shipping, instant information, and effective medicine. Rockefeller's heirs get trillions.
This nigga said effective medicine. No, not safe and effective at all. Millions have died because of them. Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna.
Wealth. Both things are true. So what do?
Both things are not true.
System you cannot escape. 3 options. 1, accept it. Understand that consolidation.
Solution. Accept it. I don't have to accept none of this shit. I'm burning this bitch to the goddamn ground.
And monopoly are features of advanced capitalism, not bugs. Use the efficiencies they provide. Buy from Amazon. Use Google. Accept that wealth will concentrate. 2, resist it. Support antitrust enforcement. Buy from small businesses, even when it costs more. Use alternatives, even when they're inferior. Vote for politicians who promise to break up monopolies. Make the system less efficient in exchange for less consolidation. 3, understand it and position accordingly. If you cannot escape the system, benefit from it, buy stock in the companies that dominate. Exxon, Chevron, Amazon, Google, Pfizer, JP Morgan. If the system extracts wealth from everyone and concentrates it in these companies, own these companies. This is what Rockefeller did. He owned Standard Oil while everyone else bought its products. He extracted wealth from the system he built. You can do the same, not at his scale, but proportionally. Own the extractors instead of being extracted from. This isn't investment advice, this is pattern recognition. The Rockefeller system has concentrated wealth for 150 years. It will continue concentrating wealth because it's embedded in corporate law, tax code, and regulatory structures. Fighting it is noble but exhausting. Escaping it is impossible. Understanding it and positioning within it is pragmatic. John D. Rockefeller died in 1937 at age 97. He lived long enough to see Standard Oil broken up, reconsolidate, and spread its methods across every industry. He lived long enough to see his foundation reshape American medicine and education. He lived long enough to see his grandchildren positioned at the top of American finance and industry. He built a system that outlived him by a century and will outlive us all. The system is vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, corporate trusts, regulatory capture, and philanthropic influence. It started with Standard Oil. It spread to steel, railroads, sugar, tobacco, then to automobiles, electronics, pharmaceuticals, technology. Now it dominates every sector of the economy, and you cannot escape it. You can only understand it. Rockefeller said, competition is a sin. Most people hear that as greed, but Rockefeller meant it theologically. Competition is wasteful. It duplicates effort. It destroys capital. Consolidation is righteous. It creates efficiency. It serves consumers through lower prices. Monopoly isn't theft. It's the natural end state of efficient markets. This was Rockefeller's worldview, and he built a system to enforce it. 150 years later, we live in that system. Amazon eliminates retail competition. Google eliminates search competition. Meta eliminates social media competition. Exxon, Chevron, and BP control oil. Pfizer, Merck, and J&J control pharmaceuticals. JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citi control banking. The consolidation Rockefeller started has reached its logical conclusion. The end state isn't thousands of competitors. It's 3 to 5 dominant players in every industry, all using Rockefeller's playbook. And the consolidation continues. Every year, fewer companies control more market share. Every year, barriers to entry get higher. Every year, the system gets harder to escape. This is the Rockefeller system, not Standard Oil, the method. And the method is eternal because it works. If this video showed you a system you'd never seen before, if you understand now that the corporate structures controlling your life were built by one man 150 years ago, subscribe to this channel. Because understanding the system is the first step. You cannot escape the Rockefeller system, but you can see it. And seeing it changes everything. John D. Rockefeller created a system you cannot escape. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, corporate trusts, regulatory capture, philanthropic influence. That system is the modern economy, and you live in it every single day. Welcome to Rockefeller's world.
Yep. Welcome to my world. Viva la revolution. Burn all that shit to the fucking ground. That's what he didn't want to mention is John D. Rockefeller's secret covenant. Let's go.
The Secret Covenant. This was apparently written by John D. Rockefeller, like in the early 1800s. An illusion. It will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will be
thought of as insane. He started off like that. Like, if anybody catch on to this, he was going to call him insane. I'm not doing it. Okay. But let's go back. Let's start from the beginning.
The Secret Covenant. This was apparently written by John D. Rockefeller, like in the early 1800s. An illusion. It will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find them a cure on our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their mind and reproductive systems. From this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones.
We will teach them that the poison is good, with musical tones. That's what stood out. The poison is good. Yeah. Need to go back a little bit.
Conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons in the blood of their children and convince them it is for their help. We will start early on. When their minds are young, we will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill them and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which we will yet create yet more medicines. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods so they may never connect with the inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may be with the oneness of it all.
Oh. And it goes on about, like when you go through the rest of it, it's about parents killing their kids and shit. It's shit wild. Shit wild. But during, after all that shit you heard on the history lesson, this was his mindset. This was his mindset. Now, rather if it's his letter or not, real or fake, the shit that's in that letter is going on right motherfucking now. Right motherfucking now. So, it's the HHN special report. Shouts out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that came through that wanted to hear some motherfucking real shit. I know there's a whole bunch of other motherfuckers on, but they ain't talking about no real shit I am on. But anyway, shout out to everybody. This is John D. Rockefeller, his story, and the Secret Covenant. If y'all want to look up John D. Rockefeller's Secret Covenant, y'all can go look it up. Y'all can read it for yourself, and, just put the picture in your mind of what's really fucking going on. Like, this nigga John D. Rockefeller runs this shit. But, hashtag fuck the corporation, burn that bitch to the ground, fuck the government, fuck the parliament, fuck the elites, fuck the royal family, fuck the bankers, the billionaires, the UN, the WEF, China, Israel, fuck those motherfuckers. And this is the HHN special stories. And you know how we end it. Mic check. I walk around the streets with my black tech 9 on the waistline, looking to hype shit. I never claim to be the best type of rapper, but have to show the motherfuckers what I'm after. I'm after the gold, and after that, the platinum. Beef after that, Hurricane G, past the gas, some bow. Trigger bang bang. This HHN special stories. I'm out. Shout out to everybody that came back. Hashtag fuck YouTube for not sending out notifications. Fuck YouTube for kicking me out my shit. And fuck all the haters. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting out the truth. Everybody putting out bullshit. Arguing, fussing, and fighting with fucking fruitcakes and pedos and shit. How can y'all let these motherfuckers on y'all platform? I don't get it. and let the shit go on for hours. Fuck all that shit. Nigga, we got shit to do, nigga. We need to motherfucker strap up and take down this government. But niggas are scared of revolution. But shout out to everybody that's not afraid to fight and die for their fucking freedom. You know what I'm saying? And hashtag fuck John D. Rockefeller and all this shit that he had popping, the shit that he got in place now. Fuck those motherfuckers. But read the John D. Rockefeller Secret Covenant, like I said, you know. I just wanted to tell y'all his story and the mind frame that he was in. I heard some wild shit, but there's more to that shit. All right, but shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to Comic. Shouts out to Let's Talk with JVJ. You already know what it is. Shouts out to Relentless. Shout out to Live and Learn. Shout out to Marcy T. Shout out to Jordan. Salute everybody coming through. Shout out to Crystal for throwing me some news that I got to do a lot of reading on. And much love to my UK correspondent, Vanta, over there in the UK, fighting a good fight against the Digital ID Online Safety Act. Crazy shit going on over there. Fighting a good fight, though. Keep the sniper polished, baby. Keep it by the window. And everybody else is going to watch on the playback. Shouts out to y'all. I'm out. Peace.